Hey everyone, welcome back to Intuitive Vibes. Erica here with another one. So guys, in this video, well, before I even get to it, first and foremost, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Okay, thank you all for the support and the feedback. Now, for those who have not yet, please be sure to subscribe because I do update my content, if not every day, every other day. So you have, a fresh new feed of different topics that we find most important to discuss. But in this video, what I wanted to talk about was a couple of things. One, the early warning signs that you're dealing with a narcissist and the qualities and traits, characteristics that they possess. And two, the common gaslighting phrases that a lot of narcissists and sociopaths use in the whole manipulative tactics that they try to enforce on you. Now, as most of you know, I am very adamant on being primarily focused on the different types of narcissists that exist. Reason being is because there are three main core types, okay? Then you have subtypes that fall under those three main core types. The three main core types are overt, covert, and malignant, okay? So just to give a little briefing, the overt narcissist is the narcissist that is very arrogant, okay? They do not mind displaying the arrogance. They're the loudest ones in the room. They are the big man or the big woman who is ahead of everyone, and they have no problem demonstrating that persona in front of everyone. They have no shame. The covert ones, however, are the real sneaky ones. The covert ones are the ones that do everything behind the scenes. Okay, they are the ones who are for show. They'll show a certain face in public. They'll treat you a certain way in public. If it means everybody's watching, the cameras are watching, those are the covert ones. But in private, they are a totally different person. That mask comes off along with everything else that's, in my opinion, fake about them. And you get to see the true person that covert narcissist is. Okay, normally most people in the surroundings don't know much about the covert narcissist because they play the role very, very well depending on their surroundings. Only the victim is really the one who knows how that person truly is. Then you have the malignant narcissist. The malignant narcissist is considered to be the most toxic narcissist of the three. The malignant narcissist runs borderline, sociopath, psychopath. They're the most toxic ones. They're the most dangerous ones out of the three. And those especially are the ones that you're advised to stay away from, okay? They have no shame. They do not care. And I don't say it lightly. They do not care at all who they hurt, what they do, what kind of pain they've inflicted, because as we learned with a narcissist in general, it's about them. It's about what they can get out of a situation, out of a person, or even out of a group of people. Okay, they don't have any kind of remorse because they don't carry any empathy. The overt and the covert, however, they may be able to mask and really, really pretend to be empathetic if it means they're going to get something out of it. The malignant one, however, simply just does not care. Stay away from them. And I don't say that as a form of command. I say that as a very big form of concern. Those are the ones that are truly dangerous. And if you notice certain things about a malignant narcissist, if you're not sure, just remember, that runs along the lines of domestic violence and just severe agony. It's not something that you really want to continue going on with. You have people who go back to overt narcissists and covert narcissists because, unfortunately, they're still stuck under that spell. But malignant narcissists are extremely, extremely dangerous. And those are the ones that you really, really got to steer clear of. I mean, any narcissist, you really want to steer clear of them. But those especially. Sociopath, psychopath, I have videos on the sociopaths, and I'm going to get to the psychopaths, but those are the ones that just don't care at all. And here's another factor for you guys. Over 158 million people in the US alone have suffered narcissistic abuse. 158 million people. That's not just with romance. That's familial, family members, colleagues, friends, you name it. Narcissistic abuse. It affected 158 million people, and the numbers are going up. Okay, did you also know that June 1st is Narcissistic Abuse Awareness Day? All right, this has become such an epidemic, and people have become so aware about this mental illness that it's becoming an awareness day. You have so many awareness days for so many other different situations, but now it's to the point that even narcissistic abuse has been acknowledged. Okay, this goes to show that this is no joke. This is no joke, and we need to continue making more and more people aware of the problems of those who are either narcissistic, who are narcissists, who suffer from NPD, and even carry extreme narcissistic traits. Okay, mental health needs to really, really become a primary factor again, because there are so many people who can avoid so many problems if they're really truly made aware of signs, symptoms, characteristics. I do this because I consider myself a selfless person, and I would never ever want anyone to have to go through that. And for those who have already gone through it, you're survivors, you're getting through it. And I commend you all, and I'm so proud of you all for that. But now we need to start helping those who are not aware and are going through it. So the first thing we're going to start with is, what is narcissistic abuse? Narcissistic abuse is a very, very sneaky tactic. Okay, it is abuse that is disguised as emotional support, love, empathy, sympathy, appreciation, okay, kindness, caring. This is all a mask that someone or people wear to manipulate a kind, loving, caring individual for personal gain. Okay, it's a manipulation tactic. It's someone coming into your life, or someone who's raised you in a way that in order for you to get love from them, okay, because they're going to play that off, you have to do things for them to receive it. Now, secondly, what is a narcissist? A narcissist is an individual who suffered severe trauma, who was raised to believe that they have to pretty much fend for themselves, that the love that was supposed to have been given to them by their parents, because it was transactional, or because it was limited, or because it just wasn't real, that person therefore believed that since they couldn't get it from their own parents, they have to learn to just do things for themselves. They got to learn to fend for themselves. They have to learn how to be self-seeking. They have to be selfish, because they have been trained to believe that if they show the slightest of emotion or try to, that they're not going to get it anyway. So they may as well just walk the world with the "I'm all about me" attitude. And because their environment was filled with toxicity, manipulation, probably physical abuse, psychological abuse, emotional abuse. They pretty much internalized everything because the caregivers were negligent in giving them that freely given unconditional love, okay? Allowing them to be themselves, allowing them to have an identity. Because that was all taken away from them, they became voids. And they internalized everything and decided that, well, you know what? Not even my own parents are going to give this to me. So why would I even rely on anyone else to do it? And they became, this is all layman's terms, they just became self-seeking, self-serving. I'm just going to do it myself. I'm going to be all about me. I'm not going to give any emotions, because we learn what our parents teach us. And when it comes to a narcissist, you're not born a narcissist. You're programmed to be one. So it really stems from their parents. And as much as we want to be mad and blame people, blame the narcissist for them being who they are, I can somewhat empathize and sympathize, because that's something they were taught to believe they needed to be. All right. Now, I also agree that it's like a double-edged sword. When you reach a certain age, if you notice that, and this is like for the narcissist, if they notice that they're going through the same thing over and over and over again, and they're not really finding happiness, they're not really finding fulfillment, naturally, us intellectual, logical people would say, change that. Try to get help for that. But they believe they don't need that. They believe that they're just as normal as you and I, and they believe that they are perfectly fine, when in reality they're not. And they turn out to be emotional vampires. That's why narcissists are so attracted to codependents. Even though anyone can attract a narcissist, but a codependent will end up staying with the narcissist much longer, because a codependent was also raised by a parental figure that is a narcissist or suffers from narcissistic personality disorder. So they're familiar with the type of abuse, but they're not consciously seeing the abuse because it's all psychological. Anybody else who's had a secure life, a secure attachment with their parents will kick the narcissist's ass to the curb without even giving it a second thought. Not a codependent. So the bottom line is that with narcissists, the end result is they're very selfish. They're all about themselves. And whatever manipulative tactics that were used on them throughout their childhood has been programmed into their brain because their parents got what they wanted out of the narcissist. Therefore, the narcissist is going to use those same tactics to get it out of someone else. Make sense? Telling you, I'm trying to make as much sense as I possibly can with it. But that's pretty much what it is. It's in what I would call a generational curse. You know, it's just something that's been taught to them. Therefore, they're applying it to their relationships. So we learned what a narcissist is. We learned what narcissistic abuse is. Now let's get into the signs, the early warning signs of a narcissist. So the first sign is, as we all know, love bombing, mirroring. Okay. The love bombing stage is pretty much the beginning stage. This is the grooming stage. This is the stage where the narcissist is completely into you, overly into you, that it becomes a little too much. All right. They are basically mirroring your likes, your dislikes. You know, they're trying to learn you. They're trying to learn different things about you in order to be that person that you want them to be. Sometimes they may even just come out and say, well, what do you look for, in a partner? And if you're vulnerable enough, you may just tell them. They are looking to basically be that partner that you desire. All right. They're constantly attentive, extremely attentive. All right. To the point where you can say, okay, this person is really, truly into me. Now, don't get me wrong. You have people that you can be really into. You really like one another and not be narcissists. They'll lay on the attention real thick in the beginning, putting you on that pedestal of, like I've said in my last video, royalty. Now, this is all done so in the future, they're going to create confusion when they start to withhold that affection and that attention. Okay, that's that manipulative tactic. Once they got you where they have you, then you'll start to notice that different things are starting to change. Their attitude, their demeanors, once they feel that they have you in their web and you are totally clueless, that mask will be slipping more and more and more as time goes on, making it easier for them to really do all kinds of gaslighting techniques, all types of things, making you question your own reality. All right, you have to be very, very careful. Love bombing is primarily the first stage of a narcissist. They know that the partner is seeking someone special, and someone who's going to make them feel special. So they're going to work hard to do that. This is years and years of being in this field. So they're experts at it. They mainly target vulnerable people, emotionally vulnerable people, empathetic people, people that are overly forgiving, that are overly sensitive, because it makes it easier for them. Makes it easier for them to give them that high level of love And when they start to pull back on it, they know that that person is emotionally vulnerable. So that person is going to feed them their supply once they start to see that things are going haywire in a different direction. So just be very careful of that, especially if you start dating early on and you start noticing certain things where they're just like, oh my God, I'm in love, and the L word. Careful. The second sign, talking about themselves constantly. When you're having a conversation with a narcissist, they're going to initially start the conversation with wanting to know about you, wanting to know things about you. Okay, but it's going to be more about them wanting to know your secrets, wanting to know your past, wanting to know, the different things that make you tick, basically. But if you notice during those conversations, the end of the conversation that was initiated with you always goes back to them. Okay, they want to be admired. They want to have people be enamored with them. They will sit there and discuss their achievements, their accomplishments. Even if you didn't ask for that information, they're just forthcoming with it because they want to be high praised. Narcissists, they have a very, very low self-esteem about themselves, even though they don't show it externally. Okay, they feel very low about themselves. So they use other external things. Maybe they do use certain accomplishments to validate them, to kind of give them that sense of superiority. But the reality of it is that, like I said, they're voids. All right. And they have to make sure that the constant praise is on them. The attention is on them, that you are validating their feelings, that you are making them feel wanted, and that you're just as into them as they are portraying they are with you. Okay, remember, key thing, narcissists, it's all about praising them. It's all about putting them on that high pedestal in which they will take you off yours to do it. Now, this next one, I would advise you use discernment. Reason being is because you actually have people who have gone through it, and I'm actually one of them. But they will basically point out that their ex or their exes were, awful to them. All right. They will, give information pertaining to what transpired between them and their ex or their exes, any previous relationships, all making them out to be the victim, in that the exes cheated on them, the exes abused them, the exes manipulated them, the exes did this, the exes did that. Again, you have to use discernment with that, okay? Because you do have people that have gone through these types of situations, that have gone through domestic violence, that have gone through manipulation, and actually were victims. But if you're for sure dealing with a narcissist, then this is all a ploy to gain sympathy. All right. It's to turn you against their ex or their exes. It's to give you, plant that seed in your head that their ex is no good for, no good. Their ex did everything wrong. And, again, use discernment. All right. And I say this very, very heavily because I'm pretty sure, me being an ex-codependent, I'm pretty sure some people from my past have said some things about me. Though I'm not perfect, which I'm not, I damn sure I'm not a narcissist. I can tell you that much. And when it comes to certain situations, you just have to use your intuition. All right. And you have to really watch how everything plays out between you and the other individual. Now, on the flip side of that, a lot of narcissists like to keep their exes as friends. All right. I've done a video on that. And this to me is a form of triangulation because the narcissist can play devil's advocate with it, in that they can say certain things about an ex, but yet the ex is still around. The ex is still within the environment. And that's because when things don't go the way the narcissist wants it to go, if they decide to, go to someone else or whatever the case may be, they will in turn try to return to the ex. Now, it's It's so hard to really decipher because you're already lost in confusion when it comes to certain situations and you don't know what to believe. My best advice is to meditate and pray on it and gain as much clarity as you possibly can before you make any decisions. All in all, if they're talking negatively about their exes, they're basically kind of giving you the heads up on this is the kind of behavior that went down. So if you don't want to end up discarded, then you better act right. It's called the better act right conversation. Okay? Careful with that. Be extremely careful with that. I mean, to each their own. I personally do not remain friends with exes, but everybody is different. So you have to use your discernment, use your intuition, all right? Be able to trust yourself to make the right choices and the right decisions in regards to dealing with toxic people in general. Next sign is double standards. We all know what double standards are, right? Well, with a narcissist, it's do as I say, not as I do, all right? So if a narcissist is not happy with certain things that you do, they're going to obviously in so many ways express that to you. You know, they're going to basically make it clear to you that I'm not pleased with this type of behavior or whatever the case may be. Now, if you're willing to make compromise, obviously that's what you're willing to do. But in most cases, a narcissist will do it themselves and they will justify their behavior. They justify their behavior by gaslighting you. All right. They will justify everything that they have told you not to do. Everything they told you makes them feel uncomfortable or makes them feel some kind of way. The common responses to it are, what are you talking about? Honestly, now you're being insecure. I never told you to do this. I never told you to do that. So it's just pretty much do as I say, not as I do. Okay, what applies to me doesn't apply to you. Okay, if I see that I'm losing control of a situation, or if I feel that I am put in a position unintentionally, of course, to compete, whatever the case may be, I'm going to just withhold affection, attention. That's my way of punishment. If you do certain things that I'm not approving of, I'm going to respond in that I'm going to respond in a negative way, in a way that's going to hurt you. Rather than sitting and just conversing and communicating about a situation, they won't do that. They'll just respond in their own way, and that's their form of expression. So the double standard game is just blatant with a narcissist. And lastly, something in your gut, something feels off, that you can't put your finger on it. You can't put your finger on it, okay? That is your intuition screaming at you. Open your eyes. Pay attention, all right? Because narcissists rely heavily on gaslighting. Gaslighting is a form of making you question your reality. If you know you saw something, you heard something, and you approach them and say, I saw this, I heard that. What are you talking about? No, you didn't. You're crazy. You're driving yourself, you're making up all these things in your head. You don't know what you're talking about. Pay attention. Close attention. If something feels off, it probably is off. Okay? They thrive off of using gaslighting techniques, especially when it comes to the discard phase, when it comes to the end of the line. When you approach them with questions or you're trying to communicate with them, you are responded with rage, anger, yelling. You are responded with being avoided, being ignored, them not saying anything to you, okay? Or, they put you in a fight or flight mode. They will periodically come in and out, back and forth. They will, they'll utilize these tactics to keep you in a codependent, toxic dynamic because you feel like you're losing it. You feel like, what is going on? Seriously, what is going on? When you try to ask a direct question, they don't give you a direct answer. If they give you an answer, it's usually accompanied with anger, aggression. They will harp on the gaslighting really, really heavily and making you question, did I really see that? Did this really happen? Maybe I am imagining things. No, you're not imagining things. You're not imagining anything, okay? They will covertly do things in front of you and you can see it. And you're like, what the? Wait, hold up. Are you serious right now? And then they will flip that on you and they will start to yell and get angry and say all kinds of disgusting things because they are in the midst of their new target. You understand? Listen, if they get bored with you and they are trying to find something else, and let's say they find something else, they will put that narcissistic rage on you because they're trying to push you away so they can go further, leaving you to feel empty, worthless, like you were nothing, like you meant absolutely nothing. And that is one of the most horrible feelings anyone could ever feel, especially if you love them, especially if you gave them the kind of love that they really could not understand, but you tried to help them understand. Okay? Don't beat yourself up for falling for people like this. Don't, because it affects you if you change your character and that you end up becoming like people like this. Okay? Still continue to be who you are. Still continue to be that loving person that cares. Just now let this be a lesson for you in that you know how to move in the future compared to those who took their own lives because of it. I tend to get emotional and I apologize for that. I'm trying to keep it even, Steven. But now we're going to go into some of the phrases, the gaslighting phrases that the narcissist uses on their victims. Okay, the first one is, you're crazy. You have issues. You have mental problems. Okay, that translates to, you're not the pathological liar. You're not the one who is crazy. You're not the one you're not seeing things. Okay, they say this because you're catching on. You're catching on to the BS. You're catching on to what they're doing. And you are approaching them. You are taking the steps to move forward and say, what the hell is going on? Because there is that chance that you are just going to cut off completely and just go your own way. And they can't have that. The next phrase is, you're insecure and jealous. This translates to, I enjoy planting the seed of doubt in your head. Okay, I enjoy making you question if you are beautiful enough or handsome enough for me. I enjoy people trying to flirt with me and you seeing that because it gets you riled up. It makes you question and makes you wonder. I enjoy all of it because I want you to be on your toes and have fear of losing me. Okay, that's another one they use. The next phrase is, you're too sensitive. You're overreacting. This translates to, you're not the overly sensitive one. I'm just the insensitive one. I carry no empathy, therefore I don't care. Okay? Your legitimate reasons for concern, your legitimate disputes on my abuse, I enjoy putting you down. I enjoy making you feel like you're going crazy and making you feel like you're being too much for me. I enjoy manipulating the whole entire situation and making you feel like you're not good enough. Yet when you approach me on it, I enjoy arguing with you about it. So it's basically, they don't care. They don't care. You're not overly sensitive. You're not overreacting. They're just unempathetic pieces of shit. Excuse the language. The next one is, it was just a joke. You have no sense of humor. That translates to, I enjoy abusing you, criticizing you, and putting you down, but disguising it with jokes, especially in front of people. And when you have a legitimate response to that because you feel some kind of way about it, I enjoy telling you, Oh, it's just a joke. Why are you getting so sensitive about it? I was just joking with you. When in reality, I'm covertly putting you down, but other people are taking it as, oh, he's just joking with you. She's just joking with you. The next phrase is, you need to just let it go. Why are you even bringing this up? That translates to, I haven't given you enough time or even the clarity on the abusive relationship that we've had previously. Okay, I need you to get over this like now so I can continue on and continue with worse abuse before you realize that this is an ongoing cycle and it's never going to change. I need you to fall for my love bombing and my lies of telling you things are going to change this time around. Things will be different this time around. You're like a fly to the web of a black widow. Don't fall for it. Next one is, you're the problem here, not me. Which translates to, I'm really the problem here, not you. Okay? But I need you to believe that you're the problem. I need you to believe that, because there's no way I'm going to admit to being wrong. There's no way I'm going to apologize for my behavior. There's no way I'm going to succumb and surrender to the actual truth. I need you to believe the fabrications of what I'm projecting onto you. I need you to believe that. So that way you can work on yourself, even though you don't really need to. You can work on yourself and your problems, and I can continue to abuse you and continue to manipulate you and lie to you and do all. And lastly, I never said or did that. You're imagining things. I need you to question your sanity. Okay, that's what that translates to. I need you to question your sanity and sit there and say to yourself, did they really say that? Maybe they didn't say that. Or maybe they said something else, or they meant something different. Or maybe this happened. Oh, wait, no, but maybe that happened. And drive yourself crazy while I continue to do whatever it is that I want to do, because I've already planted the seeds in your head of doubt. I've already put it in your head that you are the crazy one. You're the one who's wrong. You're the one who has problems. You're the reason why this didn't work out. You're the reason why I cheated. You're the reason why I lied. You're the reason why I am not empathetic. You're the reason why I don't care. You're the reason. You're the reason. You're the reason. I need you to believe that. Lord, I'm going to have to pray really hard after this video. Seriously. Guys, I remember there were days I could not even smile. I couldn't do anything. And this is not just something recent. This has been some, things that have been going on through my entire life. The type of people that I've allowed across my path, okay? The type of people that have been in my circle, the type of people that have been around. And let me tell you something. When you take back your power and you say, no, I'm not going to allow this to consume me, and I'm not going to allow this to make me feel like I was wrong. Because even though we're not perfect, and even though we have our own issues, at the end of the day, we're not conniving, deceitful people. Well, listen, guys, I didn't want to make this video too long, but I'm one who likes to cover my bases, and I like to make sure that everybody is well aware and educated and understands what it's all about, because that's the key important thing. It's not the matter of the length of a video, but it's the matter of the content of that video, and it's the matter of the truth being spoken in that video. And I'm just glad that I'm able to do that, and I'm glad I'm going to be continuously able to do that, and I'm going to continue to give and continue to school people and continue. And listen, you have any questions, you have any comments, please be sure to let me know. If you have any requests, let me know. I'd be more than glad to work on it. I have a few videos I have to work on, but I would be more than glad to get to it. And let's make this movement, man. Let's really, really make this movement, and let's really, really help people that are going through it. So I do hope that this helped and I hope that it's getting through to people, and I'm noticing more and more people are viewing, and I thank you so much for following, so much for subscribing, so much for the support, so much for, just for everything. You guys don't know how truly emotional it makes me feel, and very good emotions. So that's always a great feeling. So guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this helped you. I hope that I answered any questions that you may have had. And again, if you have any more, listen, let me know. I'll be more than glad to give you my, my most honest opinion. And of course, anything that is, that is supported by proper documentation and proof, that's how we do it. That's how the truth gets out. So guys, I'm just so emotional right now, but I thank you all for watching. I thank you for tuning in, and I will be seeing you guys very soon. So until next time, namaste.